Okay, so I want you to jump.
I now have to try and figure out how to make all of this make sense because of how big it is.
Okay.
Hey, Kara, can I get all my polygons back?
Moody's recording.
Yes!
You know it.
Overheard that you nuked Christmas as well.
So here's my solution. Hard drugs.
Not how to attack everyone! And do not trust his theories!
I'm going to hit a sick kickflip on the railing. Give me the bread!
Oh, shit. New Immersiontale update. Play the roles.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another update. As you can see, more Heartland here because we can't start one of these updates without referencing it in some way, shape or form. But instead, this time it's not a joke. It's actually a legit concern because we don't have Waterfall here. Was Waterfall that's hooked onto the end. So the idea behind this was originally that I needed Heartland. Now, of course, you've seen me make it, and we're almost joined up to the interior of the core, which will come later. But from here, it was a case of building back and getting the cave face for Heartland done so that we can see Waterfall from this angle here, and also so we can get an idea of where Undyne's going to be able to see out of and what she's going to be able to see. And then also, of course, down here, we've got to make the cave entrance to the river section for Waterfall. And we've also got to put in an extra pipe going to the core so we can figure out where exactly the core is getting cooled from, because Ice Wolf drops all the ice around here. So, from there, I then set about trying to make Waterfall in its entirety, but not before finishing up the last update for the ruins and new home by just having a general laugh and taking people to weird and strange places, because a lot of this work over a long period of time really gets to you after a while.
I regret.
Well, the memes start coming and they don't stop coming. Can you handle it when I hit the ground punning?
Oh no, this is just our Shrek. And he's picking out.
Get out!
Ah, gotta get low on this one. Oh, hey, sailor! What the fuck am I looking at?
I only joined because I am so confused as to what you guys are doing here.
I guess I will.
It's your fault, Moody. You can't. You You explain yourself. Explain
I like this so
yourself,
far.
sir.
There's gonna be another Hotland or Waterfall incident. Not this.
I was expecting the Hotland thing I got dragged into last time.
Yeah. I was expecting that, not, you know.
Moody!
This.
What the fuck is he? He heard us talking about it. He's right there.
Moody's recording.
Yeah.
Yes!
The world is going to end, and this is the last thing I'm going to see.
This is perfectly canon. Toby said so.
So, after messing around with everyone for a little bit and relaxing after doing the last update, I then came back and started trying to prototype things before I would go ahead and create Waterfall, because I wanted this distinct look for it. So I decided to make what you see here now, which is a test scene where I get kind of an idea of how I want certain things to look, whether it be the trees, or the echo flowers and the pollen, or the water, and yeah, that was interesting. Because I've got like glowing grass here, similar to Frisk's Waterfall, but I'm not too sure I should have everything glow, you know, because I know Waterfall's gonna be super dark. But it's like, do we have like the grass and every other plant glow, or do we just go with the mushrooms? I know the lights, it'll be good light sources. Could you make the water glow? No, I think I showed that off the last time. This is as good as I can get for the water, because if I try doing a glow over the top of this, it just blocks it out completely. We're getting somewhere. Oh, dude, this is almost what I need right now. Can I just, like, ramp that up to... What's the... Do that as, like, 20. The idea being that this is going to control how that looks. Oh, hey! That actually doesn't look too bad. Maybe, like, tone it down from 20. See, I kind of brute forced it there. I'll admit it, I kind of brute forced it, but that doesn't look bad. So, while establishing the test level and its visuals, the one thing that I'd missed out on, and one thing that I was kind of worrying at this point about, was the actual waterfall effects themselves. And instead of stressing out about it too much, I decided I'd leave it on the back burner, because this was round about the same time that the Undernet was doing its Winter Underfest event. So I decided that I would, instead of stressing too much, I'd go have some fun and then come back after this event had run its course over, I think, the weekend. And I ended up having a lot of fun with the community, as usual.
I don't know how to save y'all's asses. Nope, it ain't there. Oh shit, watch out! Darn it.
Keep doing it. Once I
Evie, watch out for Moody.
do it. Get me.
That's fucking dumb. Okay.
Alright, I vibe with this.
That's just dumb. Okay, I should be blamed for it. We just got saved. Wow.
Yes!
What a three.
The flank game was so good.
Was that Matt? Matt has a tagger, everyone, and do not trust his theories. No.
Yes! It's not a theory anymore, dads!
No.
So anyway...
Oh my god. I could never escape Matt Pat.
So after the Undernet's Christmas event was done, then I ended up getting into the actual modeling of things, and that's where I got stuck a little bit, because there were different ways that I was thinking I could have approached it, and just none of them were seeming to stick. But eventually I got something going, and things kind of picked up the pace a little bit. I've been experimenting with different ways of doing this, and you'll see this now. What I'm starting off with is the basic block out, where I get an idea of what I want Waterfall to look like based on the map in its most primitive form, and then I'm going to go in and start messing around with it, because I did mess around with it a couple of times elsewhere, and it did not work out so well. I might need to explain this to a couple of people, so you may hear me rambling and ranting a little bit and telling people over and over again. But this is me trying to get it as accurate as possible. Again, you know, these little cave entrances that then lead into the wishing room. Then we go out here, and this is going to be the massive cave with Undyne's first chase in, which is going to be really cool. What I'm doing here is I'm doing the basic cave walls, and then linking them all together, and then I'll be doing the other bits in later on. So the idea is just to get the basic geometry in here, and then I can fiddle around with the rest of it. So then it's not too complicated, because I I'll show you later. I started doing a version, and it got really complicated, but I want something like this so I can manipulate it. So throughout all of this process, the one thing that was the most important to me, apart from actually finishing the project, was a personal deadline that I'd set, because essentially the start of February was when I was going to be transitioning properly to being a full-time stay-at-home father, so looking after my daughter was going to be my number one responsibility from now on, which meant that I wanted to get what was essentially one of the biggest chunks of content done before that deadline to make sure that I was not worrying about massive chunks of content apart from animating later on, and this started to cause a lot of problems as things went on. Like, it's the reason why I've only done these first couple of rooms for the moment is because 1, it's hard, 2, getting it simplified is even harder when you want everything to be quads and not tries. And then 3, again, it's that whole thing of how do I tackle this? Which answer will I find will be the right one for me, which will not take forever and still produce a decent look. You know, it's awkward. It's by far the most worrying part of the entire project because there is no single definitive answer as to what can be done. Like if somebody turns around and goes, dude, you just click your fingers and it's done. You know, there's no definitive answer to it, really. So it's got me really afraid. It really has. Like this is the last area to do as well. So it's basically make or break as to whether this comes out looking good or not. And at the moment, obviously, like I've been saying, because of time and stress and everything, it's been getting me pretty worried. I'm not gonna lie, it's been getting me pretty worried. So, are you gonna have water reflection texture illuminate the cave walls? Yes. So what I've got is that already. You can see it kind of illuminates the cave walls there, which is really cool. I need to actually tweak this though, primarily because 1, I think it should illuminate certain areas more, and 2, I've been playing around with this, so much so that actually what we can do here is, if I move this ball, it actually controls where this effect is. It's something that I'm playing around with because I want to try and keep track of where this is being applied to, but as long as the texture has that material on it and has that effect on it, essentially I can move that along the walls. It's a really neat thing that I only just found out recently, so I'm hoping that I can make like other sections of wall or just little bits of the model there and then project that effect onto those areas so that I'm not having trouble with like messing around with the materials and stuff. And then we can square up the particle effect. That's not actually too bad, and then we can offset that by a bit. Up there. This is all of Waterfall in a straight line. This does not work. Primarily because if you go through it in-game, this is the bit where the little duck, bird, whatever, carries you across the small gap. But when you actually follow the in-game version, you go all the way through the marsh, all the way through Onion Sands bit, and you completely ignore where that bird would be going, including the chase with Undyne. And then the little bird is here. Makes no sense. I now have to try and figure out how to make all of this make sense because of how big it is. Because there's no way. There's no way this is making any sense. You know, I know it's just a joke, but the bird ignores the universe. It really does. You know, because like, when you look at that normally, it's just like a 3 to 4 foot gap, maybe. It's about the same distance between Onion Sands bit and the bird's bit. Makes no sense. Make it a joke with map transitions. I mean, I suppose I could make, like... The thing is, I'm jumping into this too quickly here. Obviously, the way that this works in-game is you can see the other side in-game. And it's like... I can see why they do that. You know, Toby sets that up so you think, oh, it's just a small gap. It's a fun little thing for when you want to go to and fro and fast travel around all of this. But this has taken me like a little while to cut up and actually make sense of when you actually go through the in-game version. It's like, what we're essentially doing is we're skipping... Oh, crap. Where is it? There we go. Trying to get my annotations. We're actually skipping all of that with Mad Dummy and everything. So if you take out all of that, then you actually get the bird skip. The thing that I can think of is to get these areas to line up, it's not a straight line and it bends. The idea is that there's Temmie Village and everything, but wouldn't it be easier if we just bent that entire section of the map? Because if we took it under and then just went from about here and just went all the way around, right? We see the castle roughly about here. We come all the way around to about here, right? And then we have the Undyne chase sequence, which goes all the way over here, and then we end up there. That makes more sense. That makes way more sense than what I was doing before. But the thing is, it means that we're going to have to do, like, cliff wall things. Maybe I could do that, actually, you know, like here, because the way that this works with all the waterfalls, we could probably have it falling down into this area. It's the only way that I can make sense of this entire thing. So while I was busy going crazy trying to figure out how to work out Waterfall's layout and how it would just work in general, I went ahead and looked at other different references from VR chat and a couple of other different places. So what happened was, after talking to a bunch of creators from VR chat about how they would tackle Waterfall, or how they'd already tackled Waterfall, and certain areas that hadn't been done yet that could potentially be done in future for certain versions, I then stumbled upon Doge Creations' YouTube channel that was recommended to me, and they're in the process with two other creators, Ashton and the French Squid, and doing Minecraft Undertale, essentially, just the entire underground, but on a giant scale. And the reason why I highlight this is because it helps a lot for visual reference to have as much reference as possible. So, of course, that ended up with me picking their brains a little bit about the design of Waterfall and how they'd tackled certain parts. And it was almost like comparing notes, and I really enjoyed it, because not only was it fun to meet them, to talk to them about their project, but it also allowed me to kind of get a better idea of what I wanted to do going forwards. And a lot of the areas were made a little bit more simple as a result, but either way, it's been very beneficial. Because what I can do is, I can model the hub and the garbage dump and everything beyond here for another file, and then just get rid of the rest here, and then it'll save on frame rate and things. Yeah, people that have played Yellow will obviously kind of recognize this area, because this area is modeled a little bit after the end of the boat ride in the credits. So apart from the end of the wall here, which is going to be covered up by lack of lighting, when we come over here, you got this large room that I'm going to build the cliff for here now, because that's what that wall's for there. That just vanishes off. But I'm going to put the cliff in here that links to that. And then we come over the waterfall and bam, down into the garbage dump, which is absolutely massive. We can use like the inflate tool. And by using the inflate tool, we can make these piles bigger if we want. Not too big. Just big enough. That's gonna... I'm just thinking about that, like when Frisk falls down there. That is absolutely disgusting in terms of like where they land. So bang, we need to put all the flowers down here for Flowey. But like, just being caught next to all that garbage, that is gonna smell so bad. It just helps sort of tweak the overall look to not be as flat. You know, say like this here where it looks super flat, because I've not really played around with it too much. And then I can just be like, random transform, randomize. Bring that down a little bit. That one's a pain in there though, because of that one. And then I can just like start playing around with this more and shaping it out like I have been doing. And as you can see, we've got quite a fair way towards giving this room a little bit more shape. But I really need to start dragging out other areas and really going back and focusing more. And it basically says, like, if you've got a controller in the way, like for instance, where is it? This is a controller for me that I can use and I can move around, and in certain areas it works to help, like I said, place different effects that look really sweet and give the impression that water is rippling along the sides of the walls and other things. Makes it look really nice. Normally it's for that, but in this case what it does is it affects the glow on the crystals, and by default when I move it away like this, these will not be glowing at all. And then as I run this along here with an animation, they all start to glow within a certain radius. So essentially we can get the glowing effect of the floor lighting up as Frisk's moving. And just yesterday I was like half asleep and I figured that out with Baker's help. But the funniest part was we were modifying the setup that I'd made, because I was like, oh, I'm under the impression that I just throw this in to this material setup and then just edit it slightly and bam, there you go, I can use it on something else. And it didn't end up being the case, so we went back to the drawing board and we're editing things here and there. And we could not figure out the last part of this setup. And I just randomly picked a node and was like, yeah, okay, I'll link this up. And Baker's was like, no, that shouldn't work. For all intents and purposes, that shouldn't work. And it just did. It just happily worked. So I'm claiming that it's black magic that Blender has just allowed me to do. So yeah, this update that will be coming out will be eventually apparently powered by black magic. So with a looming deadline and a lot of stress, I was obviously starting to be really confused and struggling to come up with ideas for certain rooms, that being the ones near Undyne's Chase that leads to the garbage dump, and a little bit round the area where you walk past the castle. And to come up with a solution for this, I went into VR chat, looked at the Hall of Souls, and I just thought to myself, look, I can recreate that. That's a very good way of coming up with a solution to these areas. Because, again, as I've referenced previously, I really do enjoy the Hall of Souls takes on things. So what I ended up doing was going to Frisk, the creator of the Hall of Souls, and I respectfully asked whether I could recreate those areas for Immersiontale. And luckily for me, I managed to get the go-ahead. So sure enough, I made those areas, and I'm just really thankful that everything was made a little bit easier by that. I've talked to a lot of creators in the time that I've been working on this entire project, and it's been so great because I've been so lucky to be able to meet everybody and work with everybody to come up with all these different ideas and ways to make the underground look good. And I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. And before I go and show off Waterfall, I thought I would show you a little video to kind of commemorate all of our time spent together so far. So I hope you enjoy this. This one's for you guys. So recently I've been trying to branch out into other areas to show off content. And obviously with me doing my Undertale animation and messing around a lot in VR chat and working with some people from VR chat on the animation, I decided that I would try and secure a place in the Undernet hub. I mentioned that I was going to have like a crossover or something with them to try and get my content in here, or at least seen by people, and yeah, it happened. So at the moment, with the new update to the Undernet hub, what we do have is the Immersiontale posters in here, but yeah, I didn't expect this level of support, and then it got a bit crazy.
3, 2, 1. Ow! I'm alive? I'm alive!
You would be dead where you stand.
Oh
Hey,
my
why the
god.
water face?
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. This is gonna be great.
So it was around this time that I managed to get lucky and got the Mad Mew Mew model here from UniDelta from the Undernet hub. This is another one of those models that has specifically been erased from the internet, so it's really hard to find, so I'm really happy to get another character to animate here to kind of fill out the cast a little bit more.
Ow! I'm alive? I'm alive!
Yo, you're a kid too, right? I can tell because you're wearing a striped shirt.
Everyone is always laughing and cracking jokes, trying to forget our modern crises. Dreariness, crowding, lack of sunlight. I would join them, but I'm just not very funny. At least, I'm not making puns.
See me, see me. Si fa, so mi re.
Did you hear what they just said? They said a human wearing a striped shirt will come through. I heard that they hate spiders.
You idiot! In this world, it's kill or be killed!
You're about to face the greatest challenge of your entire journey. Your actions here will determine the fate of the entire world. If you refuse to fight, Asgore will take your soul and destroy humanity. But if you kill Asgore and go home, monsters will remain trapped underground. What will you do? Well, if I were you, I would have thrown in the towel by now. But you didn't get this far by giving up, did you?
I say, just make it as simple as possible. Stop overthinking it.
What's wrong? Tell me right now. Tell me right now. What is wrong? I should go to a pool. Why are you? I can fucking do Western.
You feel there's too much work? There's too much work. Why do you do
It's all good.
How do you work this hard? How do you have the motivation? I'm jealous.
This entire this entire update was done in like 7 days.
Determination is the key.
I can tell! Holy shit!
Looks so good.
This?
Crap, I made myself.
It was so Disneyland. I love it looks.
I can't clap. Oh no.
Bright new future. Man. I know like that.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness
way.
gracious!
Holy, ain't no way. Ain't no
Oh my god!
Holy!
I can
Holy
just how I sound.
Oh,
Napsons.
Luke!
Napsons.
Oh my god.
Fucking cool as hell.
All of this runs in real time as well.
The amount of
Holy shit, this is fucking amazing!
That is it. Really
is insane.
Moody, you did such an amazing job. I love
It's
it.
not over.
Shut up and take my money! I'd pay to watch this!